Hello, my name is Wesley Sanchez Miranda, and together with my classmate Gaysalis Fermin Pacheco, we will be discussing the case study titled Con Confianza, the emergence of the zone of proximal development in a university ESL course.
This case study, conducted by Dr. Sandra Soto, Dr. Kathy Mazak, and Dr. Rosita Rivera, explores the development of a safe zone in a classroom which allows students to learn English more effectively. With the emergence of Confianza, agriculture students were able to develop the zone of proximal development as described by Vygotsky over 4 semesters of basic or remedial ESL courses, allowing students to build a safe environment in which the learning was significantly improved. The researchers defined the term confianza as a feeling of mutual understanding, respect, and emotional closeness rather than defining it as trust.
Research questions and participants. The ethnographic case study reported here originally began as a way of assessing the implementation of the English curriculum for agriculture majors at the University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez. Therefore, the participants for said case study are first-year agriculture majors in the UPRM system, who are also categorized as low English proficiency. The research question that we see throughout the case study is, by what means does the term confianza facilitate language learning in an ESL classroom? In terms of the methodology for this case study, focus groups were used. As part of the self-assessment, they conducted focus groups with the 30 student participants at the end of the first of the 3 courses. The focus groups discussion were transcribed and analyzed using the open and focus coding techniques described in Emerson, Fretz, and Shaw from 2011. All participants' names were replaced with pseudonyms. In terms of the field notes, during the second semester of the 3-semester program, they began taking ethnographic field notes of classroom interactions. Students were aware that observations were taking place during the class, although they did not know what they were specifically inquiring about. In order to validate the classroom observation as well as the focus group results, the research team conducted open-ended interviews with participants in the 3rd semester. 9 students were selected for interviews based on their performance in class, topics discussed in focus groups, and the interests of their previous English learning experiences. Each week section of field notes was assigned to members of the research team, which consisted of the 2 professors, the teaching assistants, and an undergraduate researcher. After initial open coding, researchers noted that confianza, as defined before, emerged as a recurrent theme in the data. The learning strategies employed by the students, combined with the environment characterized by confianza, fostered student-initiated helping events that occurred within the zone and facilitated second language learning.
The discussion of this case study focuses on making sure these students felt comfortable and safe enough to the point where they could make mistakes without being judged or silenced, while understanding that these mistakes were also part of their journey. This was essential for the development of confianza in this case study. To build this concept of trust and safety, the researchers provided 4 aspects to the learning environment, which were relationship building, where students could work together, exchange ideas, information, and personal experiences; fluid physical space, which allows the students to move around the classroom and seek help if needed; emphasis on bilingualism, which lets the students know that what matters is to share the information and not in which language is done; and the access students had to their professors or instructors. These factors facilitated the students' ability to learn the language. One aspect the researchers encourage educators to move towards is the use of bilingualism pedagogy, because it provides students with the linguistic resources needed to bear with the language.
Conclusions. The results from the program stresses the importance of fostering an environment where students feel comfortable and where asking questions and making mistakes are part of their language learning process. The development of Confianza allowed for the emergence of activities that facilitated the activation of students' ZDP and thus facilitated language learning. Bilingual education and informal discourse are elements which helped facilitate the language learning experience. Students learn to respect and trust each other when they understand that peers are English learners just as they are, and that they can all be sources of support for each other.
Some limitations this case study has are overcoming bad experiences in previous ESL courses, which would interfere with students' participation, getting the same students each semester, students not wanting to cooperate in the classroom environment, and the fact that this was done only for agriculture majors only. As educators, we understand the need of creating confianza in our classrooms. However, we also understand the difficulty this could pose when wanting to recreate this same environment in all of our classrooms. The fact that bilingualism is allowed in this environment is beneficial in helping students cope with the introduction of a new language, and therefore it facilitates the learning. Lastly, we believe the TA's assistance helped the students greatly in their learning process because they could have individual attention if needed.